2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Standout 7.
Hello and welcome to the weekend edition of the Smart 7. We've got the biggest, best and strangest stories of the week for you in the next 7 minutes. Remember, if you're listening to us on Spotify as part of your daily drive playlist, you can just hit the follow button to get regular Smart 7 updates, with a new episode each weekday at 7 a.m. The bank holiday weekend saw the inclusion of the British Army's Operation Pitting, which safely evacuated over 15,000 people through Afghanistan's Kabul airport. Boris marked the event with a video address from Downing Street.
All remaining soldiers, diplomats and civil servants have now left. UK troops and officials have worked round the clock to a remorseless deadline in harrowing conditions.
The Deputy Commander of Operations for the RAF, Air Marshal Jerry Mayhew, says the effort from the armed forces has been extraordinary.
For the Air Mobility Fleet, this is unprecedented, probably the biggest lift since the Berlin airlift, with 15,000 people in 2 weeks, but it's 165 missions by these aircraft behind us, so an extraordinary effort.
President Biden addressed the American nation on Tuesday night as he faces increasing media criticism over the US withdrawal, and he was clear and unequivocal about his position.
My fellow Americans, the war in Afghanistan is now over.
He spoke of being the 4th American president to face the prospect of America's longest-running war and said that, as he'd promised during his campaign, it was time for US troops to come home.
Remember why we went to Afghanistan in the first place? Because we were attacked by Osama bin Laden and al-Qaeda on September 11th, 2001, and they were based in Afghanistan. We delivered justice to bin Laden over a decade ago.
But he also had a warning for those that wish America harm.
To those who engage in terrorism against us or our allies, know this. We'll hunt you down to the ends of the earth, and you will pay the ultimate price.
Now that the war in Afghanistan is over and the British troops have returned home, Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab was called to testify in front of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee on Wednesday. He was asked if he owed the British troops and Afghan nationals left behind an apology.
I think we owe them every effort to get those out that we did, and now to focus on the new reality in Afghanistan with the arrangements that we're working on to get those that remain out as swiftly, as safely and as responsibly as possible.
Scottish MP Stuart MacDonald wanted to know what the dates were that Dominic out-of-office Raab was actually on holiday in Crete, and he really didn't want to answer.
When did you go on holiday? What dates did you go on holiday? Not interested in what you did there. What date did you go?
Look, I made a full statement.
What date did you go on holiday, Foreign Secretary?
I've made a full statement.
I think your own personal transparency is important. What date did you go on holiday?
I made a full statement on it. I also was clear I should have...
Did the statement include the date that you left the country?
At all material times...
Why can't you just answer this question? This is absurd.
Chair of the committee, Tom Tugendhat, said that the leaking of a new report shows that the failure of intelligence on Afghanistan doesn't lie with the intelligence services, but with the man at the top.
I'm afraid you can't blame the spies if the officers don't read the report.
In COVID news, as schools return after the summer break, Yvonne Doyle, Medical Director for Public Health England, has warned that we can expect the level of cases to rise again.
We would expect to see some cases coming through because we'll be testing for them. But that's the right thing because we want to pick them up so that we reduce the disruption to education in schools. Already, schools have led to a spike in cases in Scotland, and pupils return to school without some of the mitigation measures such as bubbles and masks they had before the summer break. There's also a concern over the levels of ventilation in older school buildings. But Education Secretary Gavin Williamson says the government's working to balance the risk with the benefits of a more normal educational experience.
We've been trying to strike that sensible balance, a balance towards recognising how important it is for children to be able to get an education, but while dealing with a pandemic. And it's really important for us that children are having as normal a pre-pandemic education experience as possible.
Still to come on the Standout 7, great news for Piers Morgan and Daniel Craig's losing the plot. Right after this.
You're listening to the Smart 7. If you're enjoying it, you might also like the Smart 7 Ireland edition. Just search and follow us on your favourite podcast platform.
3,
There was good news for everyone's least favourite shouty uncle on Wednesday, as Ofcom found in favour of Piers Morgan, after 58,000 complaints about his comments on Good Morning Britain as he reacted to that Meghan and Harry interview with Oprah.
I just didn't want to be alive anymore. And that was a very clear and real and frightening, constant thought.
The media regulator found his controversial comments weren't in breach of the broadcasting code, which delighted Piers, who apparently now wants his old job back, even though he was the one who stormed off.
Good day for free speech, very bad day for Princess Pinocchio.
Abortion and the legalities surrounding it has long been a source of contention in the United States, polarising Republicans and Democrats, and many Republican-controlled state senates have been trying to limit or control access to abortion for years. Now, Texas has created a law which may well mean a near-total abortion ban after 6 weeks, as it empowers and rewards private citizens for suing abortion providers, staff or patients. The man who wrote the statute, Republican State Senator Brian Hughes, is certainly enthused.
Not to be arrogant, we believe it's the best heartbeat bill passed in America. We feel good about it.
President Joe Biden has condemned it, and New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio agreed.
This is deeply troubling, and the Supreme Court made a very troubling decision. It's a direct assault on the rights of women. Let's not mince words here.
A long, long time ago, we were expecting a new Bond movie, probably Daniel Craig's last, called No Time to Die. However, coronavirus intervened, and so instead we've just had trailer after trailer after trailer. So much so that the cast seemed to have slightly lost the plot. Daniel, tell us a bit about the trailer?
The trailer shows some of the work we've done, but there's so much more in the movie than that, and I'm incredibly excited to get people to see that trailer because I think it really works.
OK, I mean, there's usually a fair more bit in the movie. That's kind of how trailers work, pal. Let's check in with co-star Lashana Lynch. Any thoughts on, well, the trailer?
I'm glad that people get to just see what I saw, at least a glimpse of it, and get to feel that excitement that everyone feels with a trailer like this. There's action, there's drama, there's emotion, there's tears. Man, woman, child will enjoy it. OK, all right, I get it. We should definitely sit and watch the trailer. Can we just watch the movie at some point, please?
This has been the Standout 7, the best of the week from the Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow, 7 a.m. with the Sunday 7. Have a great rest of your weekend.